Hello all, welcome to the final part in the video series on mechanism of disease establishment in plants. We have discussed about the role of enzymes and phytotoxins in establishing a disease. Today we will be talking about the role of growth regulators and polysaccharides. Growth regulators are compounds that naturally occur in the plants and they act as hormones at extremely low concentrations or very small concentrations. If there is a slight deviation from the normal, either increase or decrease in the level of these growth regulators, that can lead to serious disturbances in the natural pattern of the plant growth. So the microbial pathogens produce some of these growth regulators, which leads to an imbalance in the natural concentration of these hormones. And some of the organisms not only produce these growth regulators themselves, but they can also induce the plant to produce more or less of that particular hormone or that particular growth regulators. So we'll be talking about the different growth regulators and which are the organisms that induce a change in these regulators and what is the effect of that on the plant. The first growth regulator that we'll be discussing about are auxins. Now auxins are hormones that are normally produced in plant to promote elongation of stem and to inhibit the growth of lateral buds. The most common auxin that is naturally found in the plants is indole 3 acetic acid, which is also abbreviated as IAA. Now, there are organisms or pathogens that can increase the production of IAA in the plants or even decrease the production of IAA in plants. Let us first see the pathogens that lead to an increased level of IAA in the plants. These are some of the pathogens like Plasmodiophora brassicae, which causes clubroot of cabbage, Astilagomedis, which causes smut of corn, Ralstonia solanacearum, we have studied about this when we did plant pathogens. It causes bacterial wilt of solanaceous plants. Then we have Pseudomonas savastinoi, which causes olive knot, and Agrobacterium tumefaciens, which causes crown gall disease. These are some of the plant pathogens which induce increased levels of IAA by the host. Not only that, they can also produce, the pathogen itself can produce this IAA inside the plants. We also have some pathogens which lead to decreased levels of IAA in comparison or as compared to the healthy plants. Example is curly top virus, which causes diseases in tomato, beans and beetroot. When a plant is infected by this virus, it is seen that the level of IAA drops lower than that is found in the healthy plants. So there are some organisms which can lead to increased levels of auxins. There are some which can lead to decreased levels of auxins in the plant. The next growth regulator that we'll be studying is gibberellins. So gibberellins were actually first isolated from a phytopathogen itself named as Gibberella fujikuri. It's a fungus that causes foolish seedling disease of rice and it was isolated in Japan. But it was found that it is also a growth regulator which is found naturally occurring in the plants. Now normally its role is involved in elongation of stem, germination, dormancy, flowering and flower development, in leaf and fruit senescence. But there are a few pathogens, especially viral and mycoplasmal pathogens, wherein it is seen that the organism is capable of inducing excessive production of gibberellins. Now, when the gibberellins are more in quantity or when they are increased in their levels, all the normal activities of the plant which it is supposed to do, that is stem elongation, germination, flowering, senescence, that is aging and death of the different parts of the plant, everything is activated. Also, it is seen that the change in level of gibberellins suppresses a defense mechanism. Now there are different defense mechanisms and signaling pathways that are seen in plants. You will be studying about it in the next few classes. These signaling mechanisms, one of the important signaling mechanism is jasmonic acid or jasmonate mediated signaling or jasmonate mediated defense mechanism. And it is seen that when there is excessive quantity of gibberellin being produced by a pathogen, it suppresses this particular defense mechanism. So even though the organism has gone inside, the plant is unable to fight back because one of its major defense mechanism pathways has been suppressed or has been blocked. So this is the effect of gibberellins, which is mainly seen in viral and mycoplasmal diseases. The next growth regulators which we'll be studying are cytokinins. Now cytokinins example include zeatin or isopentenyl adenosine. These are some of the common cytokinins which are found in plants. Normally, cytokinins inhibit senescence by inhibiting breakdown of proteins and nucleic acids. And it has been seen that in several diseases, there is an increased activity of cytokinin. So, it has been seen in gall diseases like club root and crown gall disease, or corn smut where tumors are being formed, rust gall. So, wherever there is enlargement of gall diseases, it has been seen that there is an increased activity of cytokinins. Also, in wart disease of potato, which is caused by Synchytrium endobioticum, this organism causes wart, W-A-R-T, wart disease of potato, or Taphrina deformans, which causes peach leaf curl disease. All of these diseases, or these are some of the organisms which cause increased levels of cytokinins as a mechanism of their disease establishment. The next growth regulator that we will be studying is ethylene. Now, ethylene is produced, or the levels of ethylene are changed or induced by several pathogens. They cause increased levels of ethylene, and normally in the plants, the activity of ethylene is in chlorosis or leaf abscission, epinasty, adventitious root stimulation, in ripening of the fruits. These are some of the common activities of the ethylene hormone or the ethylene growth regulator of the plant. Due to increased level by the pathogens, all of these activities are heightened, and or all of these activities happen more aggressively and more rapidly in the plant. The next growth regulator, the last growth regulator that we'll be studying, is abscisic acid. Now, abscisic acid is actually a growth inhibitor in the plants. So, it has been seen that there are some organisms which cause an increased level of abscisic acid in the diseased plant. And already, because it is a growth inhibitor, the increased levels or increased concentration of abscisic acid by the pathogen lead to stunting of the plant, or stunting of the growth of the plant. So, the organisms which cause increased levels or increased higher concentrations of abscisic acid in the diseased plant are fungal wilt, mainly caused by verticillium. So, in verticillium wilt, it has been seen that abscisic acid contents are more, or tobacco mosaic virus, cucumber mosaic virus, bacterial wilt of tobacco. In all of these diseases, it has been seen that the production of abscisic acid is more, or the concentration of abscisic acid is increased in the diseased plant. This leads to stunting of the plant. So, these are the 5 growth regulators, the levels of which are modified by the pathogen. Some of them are increased, some of them are decreased, due to which the plant has a hormone imbalance, leading to deficits in the growth pattern of that particular plant. The last chemical weapon that we will be studying about are polysaccharides. Now, polysaccharides are not very important as a chemical weapon of a pathogen, because they are seen, or their production is seen limited to vascular wilt diseases, where there is production of excessive amount of polysaccharides, and these polysaccharides will go and block the xylem vessels, which leads to wilt of the plant. So, polysaccharides are produced only by pathogens which are involved in causing wilt diseases, but the other 3 chemical weapons are important for establishment of disease by a pathogen. That is, we have studied about enzymes, we have studied about the different phytotoxins that are produced by pathogens, and the growth regulators. Today's class, what we spoke about was the role of growth regulators in establishing a disease, where we discussed the production of auxins by certain pathogens, gibberellins, cytokinins, ethylene, and abscisic acid by some of the pathogens. If any one of these is being produced by the pathogen, or if the pathogen induces the production of any one of these by the plant, it leads to an imbalance in the hormone levels of that particular plant, which can affect the growth of that plant, and which can help the pathogen to establish the disease more effectively. These are some questions that I have put up over here, which will again help you to review how much you have understood in this particular PPT. This is with respect to today's class. I hope it has been useful to you all. Thank you.